In modern organizations, effective governance is essential to make sure that strategic decisions support long-term goals, meet stakeholder expectations, and comply with regulations. As businesses grow and become more complex, the gap between ownership and management often widens, which can lead to short-term decisions that may not align with long-term interests. To manage this, organizations use governance frameworks, which are structured systems that guide how they are directed, controlled, and held accountable at the highest level. These frameworks help define decision-making authority, oversee performance, manage risks, and uphold ethical standards, ensuring that leadership stays focused on sustainable value rather than just short-term results. Governance frameworks for strategic oversight bring together principles from corporate governance, risk management, and strategic control to keep strategy execution aligned with the organization's purpose and the interests of its stakeholders. This approach supports better decision-making and long-term organizational success. A solid governance framework includes a clearly defined board structure with specific responsibilities, well-established roles, and accountability between the board and management. It incorporates risk oversight and internal controls, along with performance monitoring and reporting systems. Ethical guidelines and compliance processes also play a key role. Some well-known frameworks are the UK Corporate Governance Code, OECD Principles of Corporate Governance, COSO Enterprise Risk Management Framework, and King IV Report on Corporate Governance. While each framework emphasizes different aspects, they all promote transparency, accountability, and long-term strategic decision-making. These frameworks add practical value by improving strategic alignment, helping boards ensure that strategies reflect the organization's mission and stakeholder expectations. They strengthen risk management by embedding risk assessment into board decisions, reducing the chance of failure. Clear governance structures also enhance accountability by defining responsibilities and fostering transparency, which builds trust with investors and regulators. Additionally, these frameworks support sustainable value creation by focusing on long-term performance rather than short-term gains, and they increase investor confidence by assuring responsible capital allocation and independent oversight. Successfully implementing a governance framework involves deliberate design and ongoing dedication, starting with establishing a competent and independent board. Boards need to have independent non-executive directors who bring a variety of skills and experiences. This independence helps the board evaluate management decisions more objectively and limits conflicts of interest. It's important to clearly define roles, especially separating the chairperson and CEO, so the board can focus on strategy and oversight while management handles day-to-day execution. Regular reviews of strategy are essential to make sure performance meets expectations, looking at both financial and non-financial indicators. Risk management should be built into strategic decisions by using risk committees, internal audits, and enterprise risk systems. Promoting ethical leadership is also key, with codes of conduct, whistleblowing channels, and ESG reporting helping to align behavior with governance standards. For example, Unilever integrates long-term sustainability goals into its strategy through strong governance, while BP improved its board risk oversight after past failures. In the financial sector, banks follow strict governance to manage risk and regulatory compliance, with oversight committees preventing excessive risk-taking. Public sector organizations use governance frameworks to maintain political independence and ensure accountability in strategic decision-making. These examples show how governance frameworks help organizations balance strategy, risk, and ethical leadership effectively. Effective governance improves decision-making by bringing diverse, independent perspectives to board oversight, which results in better strategic choices. It also reduces the risk of major failures through thorough risk assessment and control measures. Strong governance promotes ethical behavior and legal compliance, ensuring responsible leadership. Boards focused on governance prioritize long-term growth instead of just short-term profits, which helps sustain the organization. Transparent governance builds trust with key stakeholders like investors, employees, and regulators, strengthening those relationships. However, governance frameworks come with challenges. They can be complex and costly, requiring resources and training. Increased oversight might slow down decisions, especially in fast-moving markets. Poorly implemented frameworks risk becoming mere formalities that do not add value. Excessive control can create tension between the board and management, potentially limiting managerial freedom. Also, governance frameworks need to be tailored to each organization, as a rigid, one-size-fits-all approach may not work effectively. Overall, despite these limitations, strong governance frameworks are essential. They help organizations focus on creating long-term value, managing risks, and maintaining ethical standards, making them vital for sustainable success in today's dynamic business environment.